I wonder kind of we will what we'll be going through, what we'll be looking at next, because we've already got the shore. That's like the cool new thing that we're doing.
Yeah, super cool.
Cool new thing. But I wonder, like, we need to get through desert, shore, forest,
Plains,
plains.
mountainous areas,
Oh lordy.
wastelandy stuff.
Yeah,
I can see some creatures we have carrying over to other areas.
I agree. I think we should figure out which ones are sort of
Um, out of
going
what we
to
currently have.
not we don't have to do that right now, but at some point we should
Yeah.
figure out once we have enough of them where they need to go because I think the issue with going through and having so many different areas or so many for so many different areas like we do right now um, not that it's a bad thing to have variety but just sort of in general is that we're going to run into an issue with having so many things for Cody to have to do art for. And then Frank's going to have to animate each of these things.
It is necessary though.
Yeah,
Can't have a subpar amount of enemies to fight. That'll just be repetitive and boring.
that's true. Um, I just wonder of a, how many resources we have to allocate to making like as many classes as we want, or for as many creatures, I guess, but creature classes.
Well, I think the amount of creatures we have for the forest is a really good number to have. 6.
Six.
I think each area should have.
Oh, sorry. So if we have five areas, that's 30 creatures.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
think there should be any more than 6 creatures per area.
I think we'll probably have to do less. We're gonna have to narrow this down to like 20 for the demo.
Oh yeah, for the demo, yeah.
Right, right. And that's I guess what I mean is
Yeah,
like
okay. Because I was thinking, I'm thinking long term.
and yeah, in the full retail we're gonna want about six per area, but
Yeah.
in the demo it depends on which areas we're visiting most frequently. I think we should think through. I think the shoreline will be an area that we visit,
Hmm.
and what'll be nice about the shore is that the creatures that are ocean only can carry over to ocean encounters if we have any.
Hmm. I
Um,
think the three, if we're gonna focus on areas, it should be 3, and they should be different enough from each other.
three.
So I would
Okay.
think forest, the
Shore,
shore, and probably mountains.
mountains. I agree for like the orcish area.
Hmm. There are 3 areas different enough from each other, yet similar to a player, or not really similar, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
They're familiar.
Right. No, I agree. So let's put this as a mountain. Um, what are we looking at for interaction? Do we have anyone suggesting anything before we go on?
I'm not saying anything.
Then we'll get right to it, I suppose.
Um, so, taking a mountain creatures, I just immediately think of goats.
Goats.
Definitely.
Okay. So we got to do some goat research then, I think.
Oh man, I freaking love goats.
Do we hold on before we go on? Do we want to do the mountain stuff first, or do we want to finish the shoreline first?
What was it?
Do we want to do the mountain design for creatures first, or do we want to do the shoreline design first?
Um, I think we should just focus on the shoreline right now.
Okay. So,
Get at least 4
um,
in total. I mean, so maybe do 2 more.
yes. All right. So let's look at octopus. Some octopi.
We need to add, have something that can be on the shore.
I was thinking about
Or, I mean, the beach terrain tiles.
maybe like a bird of sorts.
Like a pelican? Pelican octopus? Peloctopus?
No.
Swoops down out of the air with its freakishly gross tendrils
You
and
know,
its
that actually, if we
inappropriate
did
wings and humongous. It's like a flying kraken with its big old beak.
I kind of like that. Octelican. Uh, kind of like that for the name. Kind of. We should look at other names for octopus before we choose that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I know that nautilus would kind of work, but that's not really. Mollusk. Squid. Could go with squid.
What about a squid ray?
Squid ray.
Squid stingray thing.
Seems like we got like the stingray thing covered by
The eel.
the eel, since he's doing all the electric stuff.
Yeah. We need something for those beach tiles. Ooh.
Yeah. Crab.
Giant enemy crab.
Crab. Crab. So, yeah, I was thinking along the same sort of line of thought as Logan was, and I think that it's probably a good idea to get a few more land things in, um, because even though we could do some cool things with like what do they even call it?
Just the beach tiles or whatever, just the land part of the battle.
Yeah, we need to incorporate that and make it important, so it doesn't feel like it's too many in the water, too many on the beach. 3 and 3 is probably fine.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we've got the Koalrus, which is doing both.
Yeah, that's a cutie.
Him and his tusks.
Drives a hybrid.
He's very eco-friendly.
Yeah. Urchin. Interesting.
What about a crab and urchin combination?
I can't think of any way to name that.
Crab-urchin.
No.
That's terrible.
I wish there were more words for crab.
Crustacean. I mean, that's vague, but when you see any kind of crustacean, I immediately associate with crabs. Big old, any kind of claws, pincers,
True.
hard shell, bunch of legs.
But I wonder what we put on the front of Asian if we were going to use crustacean, because I don't think crust is something we want to put as a prefix.
No.
We want these to sound like portmanteaus of actual creatures rather than creating some kind of Pokemon style naming system where we combine both
not yet.
of their body and
just smash words together.
Right.
Station.
Wikipedia research on stream. The realities of game design. There. Gotta tell you, I'm not finding much here in the crustacean department. I think decapod is interesting.
What about something? I want something with a horseshoe crab, maybe.
Horseshoe crab. Yeah, horseshoe crab would be cool. Is there another word for that? Says horseshoe crab. Horseshoe crabs are marine arthropods. Family Annelidae. Subphylum, order, family. What's the scientific name? Tetrodotoxin may be present in the roe of the species inhabiting the waters of Thailand. Huh. I didn't know that. What is tetrodotoxin? I'm sorry. I have to learn this.
So I'm looking
TTX
at
is a potent neurotoxin, an order that includes pufferfish, porcupine fish, ocean sunfish, triggerfish. So this is the bad stuff, the rough stuff.
So it looks like we got birds, turtles, crocodiles, water snakes,
Scorpius.
sea lions, seals. There's not a lot of shore-based animals.
Yeah, I feel like there should be more.
Because most of them are birds, actually.
Yeah. Well, there are turtles.
Yes, there is.
Eudialyals, which are a turtle race. So it could feel weird to...
Because there's the conger eel, which we already got an eel. There's the... I don't remember if they're avocat or avocets, the birds with the curved up big beaks. Sorry. Crab plovers, which are birds. Gulls. Oh, this is a interesting looking bird. The magnificent frigate bird. It puffs up its chest and it turns all red, kind of like a frog would puff out its throat.
Huh.
Snowy stealthbill, which is also a bird. Kingfishers. They've got the big wide beaks and they stab fish.
See, but I think if we take the word kingfisher, just... I wonder if heron would work somewhere.
Crocodile. White-billed mangrove snake. Eats crustaceans.
I think we do octolisk.
Octopus mollusk.
Yeah.
So what, it's like in its shell and then it opens up and it's like octopus-like?
I think so.
That'd be absolutely freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially if it had like the little like squid beak.
They're actually from the same family. Phylum Mollusca. Or not family. Same phylum.
The same...
Changes. Gotta change this. Alright. Okay, so I think this can be the thing that moves the tide up. Only for the fact that we need something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, two forms. Open shell, which is
Like an attacking thing.
squishy and deals a lot of damage. Closed shell, which is tanky and deals very little damage. And then I'm trying to think. Mind is addled from those retrospectives. What might be interesting is if we have it so that when it's I was thinking about having it attack like 8 times or something like that, something ridiculous, or attack for the amount of water rows that there are. And then I was thinking about it, making it so that the passive that allows it to move the tide up was tied to its closed shell form, but that makes it so it's very uninteractable for
Maybe it when it for some reason when it opens it lets out some water that encroaches.
Okay. So okay, so it can okay. So hold on.
Kind of like water falls out of its mouth.
It opens its shell, comma, a water watery row emerges onto the adjacent row of choice. When it closes, comma, the watery row returns into its shell. Its abilities are against amplified against watery rows. So this could be like a both a damage and a support. Supporty when tanky, damagey when squishy. DPS when squishy. Needs abilities which target allies. Target allies. Wow, the typos are real. Enemies. What are you thinking for those?
Man, something where it can take an attack for for an ally while it's shelled.
Taking it. Okay, so you should tank ability to take damage from an ally. Can take tank for more than one, or this ability costs less or refreshes if they are on watery row. So it's stronger if there's already a watery row in place, which means you'll be able to tank for the back row easier. But it won't come into play for rows that you put out because you have to be in open form to get that.
Mm. I was also thinking something kind of like a counter. While it's shelled, it opens up and attacks and then closes. Or maybe it doesn't even have to close.
Counter. Interesting. So maybe
And that could proc maybe the watery row.
it opens, comma.
Maybe it's a certain amount of damage that does it, or
8
I don't know.
attacks. It does not regain. It cannot make more than 8 until it reshells. But may use all 8 at once. Also, these attacks can be used to counterattack. That's fine. What else?
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. Indeed. Eh.
I have an idea for some kind of chance at rare drops. Uh, if you're able to keep it closed for a set amount of time, it kind of makes like a pearl.
Huh.
Because I know we have the rare drop chance on the Barangtang. And
Yeah.
sadly, this is all I can think of right now.
Drop chance on Orangutan.
I think that was when it kills a Barangtang. I think.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's interesting.
Because what I'm thinking is.
It enters its
Mm,
shell more than 3 times, twice in a battle. In a battle, comma, creates a pearl which can be sold for Bula, or has a chance to.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. All right. So we've got Qualrus, Alien, Octalisk, which are pretty cool. What next? I wonder. Did you have any more ideas for that one?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting kind of drained of them too. Um, hmm. Got a notification on.
Yeah, I think he's ready to go pretty much anytime.
Okay. Well, let's add him in because I think he might.
He is at a loud coffee shop right now.
Uh, ETM when you'd like me to join. Gotcha. 3:30. All right. Do some more research. Hmm. Okay, so I'm looking for something that is land-based that is on the shore.
Still want to do something with crabs.
Yeah, yeah. Could be, should be pretty cool to get something crab related in, or lobster related, whatever.
Like a rock lobster.
Rock lobster. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I would go back to crab, but I don't think I'll find anything there.
I don't know why I just thought of this. It's some kind of pelican creature, and it's just got a bunch of crabs in its bill. And it uses the crabs to like can kind of like the wasp. The wasp, it like summons crabs out of its mouth, and the crabs attack. I don't know. It's just
Well,
something I thought of. Like it flies into battle, and it just spews out some crabs every few turns. Does some other stuff.
the sign for the constellation Cancer is a crab.
Yeah.
So we could do Pelicancer, but I think that people. Well, but we could do Pelicancrix, which is a magic term, magic for the crab things that they have. Cancerix. Pelicancerix sounds cool, but that would be taking from them something. And we could always take the prefix cance and turn it into something that's our own.
Cansican?
Pelicansican. Oh, you mean like just Cansican?
Oh, either
I was gonna
way,
put it as a suffix.
you could do Pelicansican. Sounds so wizardy.
I'm gonna do Pelicanth. Canth. So we'd be going from the coelacanth. You familiar with that? Coelacanth.
Oh, that sounds very familiar. Is it like it's like a reptile, right?
It's a very, very, very old fish thing
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about now.
that is still around. There's a Pokemon based on it.
Yeah, it's the one with the freaking beak teeth, right?
This one.
Yeah.
Kind of very scary looking. I think it'd be terrifying to have Pelican have this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. God, that would be really scary.
Seal.
Like it's just got a huge lower jaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of like its beak, it's yeah.
You.
Oh God. It like comes up halfway over its face.
Yeah. Can swallow.
Oh my God, like yes, it can swallow an ally.
Allies. Can swallow allies or watery rose. And consume. Or perhaps both. Both at once. Ally can still attack, comma, and use abilities.
But only basic abilities.
Perhaps only basics. But
You can only target the Pelicanth because it's inside of it.
Well, what I was thinking is he'd open his mouth, but the Pelicanth takes all damage.
Right.
Damage. But that ally is not targetable. All damage, which would be dealt to that ally, is dealt to the Pelicanth instead. Can swallow watery rose and deposit them elsewhere.
Oh yeah, and when it deposits, it could do like a little bit of damage.
By depositing allies in its mouth with water, heal each turn.
Allies as in monster allies, right?
Right.
Okay. It eats the walrus.
Yeah.
That's all I can picture.
Just kind of scary. Can swallow up enemies.
Maybe it can, if it can eat a row of water and then swallow the water to heal itself.
On watery row can consume water rows to heal itself. Enemies swallowed receive damage each turn. Good. other thoughts? Does it fly?
Hmm.
So it doesn't get affected by the electricity.
Right. Though it would be kind of neat if it could swallow the electric row, and then when it spits out the water, it's electric also.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I mean, if it has flying. Oh wait. Does the electricity on a water row last a specific amount of turns, or is it just always there?
It's
Because
always
it would
there as
always be
long as
there
the
as long as
E-line is
the
there.
E-line is there.
Right.
But other than that, I don't know.
I think it's just always sort of there. For those just tuning in or watching, we're going through and we're hashing out the bestiary. Try to tackle these kind of creature subclasses, how they might work together, whatnot. Um, uh, Pelicanths cannot swallow one another.
That's a good point to make.
I think it's a fair point. It would seem weird, I think. Um, what is this doing in battle? It's like tanking, kind of. Tanking and healing.
Tanking, healing, and terrain manipulation.
Right. So, tanking, healing, terrain manipulation, slight amount of damage. They can also kind of debuff by keeping you inside.
Yeah, they remove a lot of your party's threat by eating one of them.
Right. And if you only had one person on the front row, that might cause your front.
Yeah. Like, say you just have a tank in the front row and they eat the tank.
Right. Always
Everyone's really vulnerable right now.
on the back row. Can move. Has 2 rows of movement. Whenever it takes a move action. Action. Alright, so that's 3 sea creatures. I say that because this is starting over the sea. 3 sea creatures and 1 land creature. So now we need some more land guys. 2 more. Oh. Coelacanth. Coelacanths are considered a poor source of food for humans and likely most fish-eating animals. There's a high amounts of oil, urea, wax esters, and other compounds that are difficult to digest. Interesting. Like anglerfish. Look at the
Too deep sea.
Yeah. Anglerfish.
thought about that earlier.
Oh, these guys. Really pretty ones. They're notoriously ill-tempered. Picasso triggerfish bite. Gotcha. Not actual Picasso who got bitten by one. Just called that. Some species of triggerfish, such as the Titan triggerfish, may be sigmotoxic. What does that mean? Reef. Maybe we look at like reef, a coral. A word. Coral. Colonies, important reef builders, genetically identical polyps. Can't think of any way to use the word coil or coral with another creature or reef without just having the word reef in it. Coral. Was there a la? Maybe lobster. Coral lobster. Shore creatures. Seashore.
Atoll, shoal.
Shoal.
K, ridge.
Shoal could work.
Shalopster.
Shalopster. Whelk would also work. But I don't want two things that are too. I want things that are too far away from, like platypustula I used, even though it doesn't really. It's not two creatures together. It's platypus and something else. But I like to keep that to a minimum. So actually living things. Urchin. Sand eels. Algae, seaweeds, lichens, algae. Whelks. Brittle stars. Chitin. Netted dog whelk. Mussels, limpets. I want something that's not armored, just a thing that happens to live on the shore. I mean, we've got a bird, so we don't need that anymore. There are many more things in a forest. I guess sea spiders. Look at spiders, or like, what are those little things that are like hermit crabs that you find on the beach? They look like little gophers. tiny little things. Hermit crab. Hermit crab's fighting shell. Fancy chains.
Maybe something with starfish.
This is actually really interesting. Several hermit crab species, both terrestrial and marine, use vacancy chains to find new shells. When a new, bigger shell becomes available, hermit crabs gather around it and form a kind of queue from largest to smallest. When the largest crab moves into the new shell, the second biggest crab moves into the newly vacated shell, thereby making its previous shell available to the third hermit crab, and so on. Hermit crabs often gang up on a hermit crab with what they perceive to be a better shell, or they will actually pry its home away from it and then compete for it. These guys are merciless.
What the fuck, hermit crabs?
Not okay, guys. I know that you came here for game design, but really we're marine biologists.
Exactly.